Hey YouTube, what's up? Yeah, I know this is something different. So you guys know I do a lot of different things. Some other hobby is 3D printing, and this old girl has been with me for about 4 years now. This is the Anet A8. Hasn't been working for quite some time. That's what ended up how I ended up with the Ender 3 Pro. So this board here is bad, and this is the Anet, as you can see, 3D version 1.5. So we're going to replace it, and we're going to be doing the V1.7 version. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can't get it working. Got it all cleaned up, looking good. So we're going to go ahead and just remove this, hook everything up, and then we're going to go ahead in and see if we can't get it plugged in and warm everything up, and then maybe run a test print on it. So yeah, let's get it done. It's a lot of stuff to just change over, but it's really not that bad. It looks like it's a rat's nest, but it's intimidating, but trust me, it's really not bad at all. So pretty much unpin everything, have the board set over to where you know you're gonna have it. Just unplug everything, plug it all in. I could just unplug it with my eyes closed and put it all back together, but I'm trying to show you, if you do this, an easy way to do it. Just have the board here and then just unplug and go a little bit at a time, and then, you know, it's easier for you. That way you can remember everything goes, kind of like the old trucks that had the old drum brakes. You only take one side off because all the springs, you would get confused where they all went. Just like that. Let's go ahead and get it done. It's got 4 screws with 4 collar pieces that hold it on. It's got like they're plastic, that kind of spacers more or less. So then just go ahead and unplug it, and then you take your new board and you plug it right into the new board. All right, just same thing all the way down. And like so, right? We're gonna do the same thing for right here, and we're gonna plug them into this side. Now remember, if you got the Anet A8, you could just do all this without having to, you know, because you built it. So, but I'm just trying to show you guys like an easier way just to not have to worry about putting everything there. So now I'll go ahead and I'll mount the board. We're going to use these 4 screws, 4 spacers, and 4 nuts on the back side, and we're going to mount it, and then we'll go ahead and put on these pieces, or the, you know, the bed, and then the hot end and the power. So let's go ahead and get it done. All right, as you can see, we got the new one mounted in there. And now we'll go ahead and we'll connect the main power, which is going to be back here in the corner. Then we're going to connect the hot end, which will come unscrewed here and screw onto here, and the bed, and then we're done. So let's go ahead and get all that taken care of. It's good to raise up the hot end, get it up out the way, and the way you do that is you just twist on the screw here, but you want to do both sides. This is a dual Z. So you have to move them both at the same time. Let me show you that. I can see, you'll see it move there. You see that? You just rotate them up, the stepper motors at the same time, and that's going to give you access to getting down in here. Now remember, you just want to snug them up. Nothing too wrenching, you know, on it, because you got to do maintenance on these guys. You got to run through them. Depends on how hard you use them. I'd run through mine monthly when I was using every day. Just make sure everything was right. The acrylic frame on this is the killer, so make sure you'll put no Loctite on it, because it's acrylic eater. And yeah, just run through, like I would just take the screwdriver and just, you know, give the screws. You see that, just that little bit of twist. So okay, let's get back to work. I'm talking long enough. All right, so next going to be plugging in your data cable, which goes there. I say your data cable, but that's going to be your LCD screen. Make sure that's plugged in the back there nice and tight. Make sure your wires is out of the way. Just double check everything. Make sure everything is plugged in where it's supposed to be. And I always just double check that. Look at positive and positives on the same side, negative, negative. She's ready to go. So we will go ahead and take it inside and plug it in, and let's see if we can get this thing heating up and see what it does. Okay, it's plugged in and we're sending everything home, which it'll go to its home position and rest on this set switch right there. And that's when we'll take and measure this with a ruler on both sides and get both Z's on point, and then we'll go ahead and tell it to preheat. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty wore out. The buttons on this thing. I probably gotta get a new board for it as well. Gotta go that way now. It's weird, it won't preheat. And the button's working, so yeah, something's not right where it won't want to preheat itself. I think the bed's already on because it feels warm. The bed is warm. The hot end on this, let's go back. Okay, no, we're preheating. Okay, my bad. So everything's working good. Alright. This fan just isn't spinning. I thought the fan spun. So, I mess with this one here, the Ender 3 Pro, and I've been messing with that for a while. So, just gotta refresh my memory on this. Got the board lit up back there, as you see. So that's a plus. We're headed for 190, we're at 182. The bed is at, headed for 60, is at 47. So then what I do is I take a ruler, now that I set everything home, and I just measure, you know, and make sure where this one's setting. And I'll come over and I'll set it, and as you can see, they're way out. So let's go ahead and get those boys dialed in. You see right there, where that one, I use the top of this to measure it. So that's where we're at with that one. We'll call it at that line there. And it is way out. So what I do then is I drop this down to match that. And that lines everything up. That's a little bit low. Come back up. That's going to get her done. So then after I do that, that's when I'll go in here we got filament loaded in it, and then we'll make sure we're level, which at that point you then hold all the way down on this switch. You gotta disable steppers, because then that allows you to move this and this, so we can level the bed and everything. And we do that with a piece of paper. Simple piece of paper, thick magazine paper, works good with the Anet. And now if you see I have these pieces here, so once I got everything locked in and leveled down, I go ahead and anchor it to this table, because you don't want it moving around. That is the worst thing you want in a printer, when it's moving, okay? Just trying to give you some tips and tricks on getting them going if you want to get into printing. And this guy is a really nice one to get into, because you actually build everything. It's like the exactor kit or extractor kit that we had as a kid, the metal thing, and we build everything. That's what this guy does. So yeah, ho ho ho. All right, so we got all four corners anchored in now, and then I will still put one here, you know, on both sides to hold everything in. But as you can see, we're all one with the table now. When I move this, nothing's moving now. So we're all part of this table. So that's what makes, you know, a printer work really well. So now I'm gonna go ahead and re-level everything again, because I got it fully mounted to the table now. It's time, it's patience, but when they're working good, they're working good. Alright, went ahead and told it to go ahead and print. So we're waiting on the bed to get to 65. We're at 191.5 at 190, so we're ready on hot end. This fan has not worked yet, so I want to see what that does. I can't remember if it worked during a print, or I thought it pretty much ran all the time while it was plugged in. But then this one is on, the hot end one, so I just want to see what the cooling one does. Which makes sense, if it's not printing, it's not obviously going to spin, but we'll see. We should be taking off. Oh no, so now we're waiting on 220. Thought that was weird, 190. It's okay, 220. We'll get back once it starts printing.